buck stops here. I am Barkha Dutt. On the program this evening, these images coming up in a moment from now say everything about the theatre of the absurd that is playing out in Maharashtra. After the Mumbai meat ban decision by the BJP in response to a demand made by the Jain community, you now have parties like the MNS and the Shiv Sena taking to the streets, and you can see through those chickens, some chickens are coming home to roost. These parties saying, we will not allow the ban to take place. The matter is now in the Bombay High Court as two allies, the BJP and the Shiv Sena, fight publicly. The Bombay High Court has already said that there should be a better formula for a modern city. But of course, those in support of the ban are quoting an old Supreme Court judgment delivered by Justice Katju. He'll be on the program tonight. As we ask whether the state should be on our plate, and as everybody jumps on not the bandwagon but the bandwagon, is India now Banistan Hamara? Let's introduce our guest today. Joining us from the BJP, we're joined by Sudhanshu Trivedi, senior leader of the party. With me in the studio is Sanjay Nirupam, spokesperson and senior leader of the Congress party. Also joining me from Mumbai is Manisha Kayande, spokesperson and leader of the Shiv Sena. Also with us is Madhurika Sona Jain. She is a member of the Jain community but also a writer and filmmaker. And also with us another voice from the Jain community, Dhanpal Solanki Jain, an advocate with the Bombay High Court. Anuva Pal, playwright, screenwriter and comedian, is also with us, and Manish Mehrotra, who's of course the chef with the Indian accent, is also with us. Justice Katju, as we said, who delivered that judgment, is also with us. Let me in fact start with you, Justice Katju, because it is your judgment that everybody who's supporting this ban is quoting to say that Supreme Court sanctioned this to happen. So why are you criticizing us?
Barkha, there are two things I wish to say.
Yes.
Firstly, that I have always been a strong supporter of liberty, including the right to eat whatever one likes. In fact, you may remember that some months back, I had strongly criticized the Maharashtra government for banning beef. I said that it is one's right to eat beef or not to eat it, and most of the world eats beef and there is nothing wrong in it. Secondly, coming down to this particular case, you may just hear me for a minute.
Yes.
See, the case was before a bench of Justice Sena and myself.
Yes.
Eminent counsel like Mr. Soli Sorabji and others had appeared.
Yes.
And after hearing the judgment, after hearing the case, we reserved judgment. And my senior judge, Justice Sena, asked me to prepare the judgment.
Yes.
Now, normally I would deliver judgments in court very quickly, but in this case for several weeks I could not make up my mind that what would be the correct judgment. At first I thought that after all everybody has a right to eat whatever he wants to, so why should there be this ban? Ultimately what prevailed in my mind was this. See, every fundamental right is subject to reasonable restrictions.
Okay.
Now whether the restriction is reasonable or not has to be decided on the facts of a particular case.
You argued that it was only a few days.
There were two facts.
You argued that it was only a few days. You quoted Emperor Akbar. You said kuch din ke liye to kya karna hai to kya harm?
Permit me to speak. There were two factors which prevailed in my mind for upholding the ban. Firstly, it was not a new ban. This had been going on in Ahmedabad for several decades. Secondly, it was only for the 9-day Paryushan period.
Okay.
Now, this situation would be, the legal position would be different if either of these facts are missing. In the case of Mira-Bhayander, the Maharashtra government had imposed a ban only for 2 days in the municipalities in Maharashtra.
Yes.
2 days during Paryushan.
Yes.
Suddenly, Mira-Bhayander has raised it to 9 days.
Yes.
Now, one of the important considerations in deciding whether a restriction is reasonable or not is whether it is excessive.
Okay.
Now 2 days we may not think excessive. If a case had come before me that there was a 2-day ban, I would say, all right, it's a small ban, it doesn't matter.
So do you
but
agree
9
with
days
that?
I may regard as excessive. It is being introduced for the first time. You see, you must understand.
No, there was always a 2-day ban, sir. There was always a 2-day ban. It has been extended to 8 days this time. That is the difference. Now the question is,
exactly.
now the question is, do you feel 8 days is excessive? Do you feel 8 days is excessive?
Yes, 8. I'm answering you if you have the patience to hear the answer. 8 days if it is being introduced for the first time. You see, in the case of Hinsa Virodhak Sangh, this 8 days period had been going on for decades in Ahmedabad.
Okay.
So we have to, we have to take a balanced view of the matter. If something had been going on for decades, for 8 or 9 days ban, we may uphold. But if it is being raised from 2 days to 8 or 9 days, for the first time it is being raised, I would have held it to be excessive.
Okay,
and then also, see,
let me take that to the other side, because you made a very
I
important
don't claim that
point.
my judgment is...
Yes, sorry, complete your point. Justice Katju,
Yes.
complete your point. One more sentence.
See, also I don't claim that necessarily my judgment was correct. Judges also make mistakes. In fact, the great British judge, Lord Denning, has said that the judge has not been born who has not committed a mistake.
Do you believe
so
you made
I may
a
have
mistake?
committed a mistake.
Do you believe you made a mistake, sir?
May
have.
No, I say that I have still doubts whether I made a mistake or whether my judgment is correct or not. I'm still in two minds.
Very interesting. Now,
I'm
I want
not
to take
sure whether I made a mistake.
Very interesting. Now, Manisha, of course, you're smiling because the judge that the BJP is quoting is saying that he's doubting his own judgment, one. And two, he says that if it was 8 days instead of 2, he may not have delivered the same judgment. But Manisha, should this public fight between you and your ally, the BJP, play out in the way that it is? Many people feel that both of you are fighting because you're chasing different vote banks. The BJP is chasing the Jain vote bank. You are, of course, appealing to your own home base of the Marathi vote. So I want you to please explain to me why the Shiv Sena is publicly fighting with the BJP when you were on the municipal corporation and you could have stopped this.
Well, Barkha, let me tell you that it started in 1964, one day, then 1994, one more day.
Yes.
Okay, 2 days.
Yes.
Then the Congress NCP government gave for another 2 days in 2004.
Yes.
Okay, people were tolerating, people were respecting the sentiments of a particular community with their representatives going everywhere and requesting people, okay, that they are having pollution and therefore, like, as a mark of respect to the community at large.
Okay.
But when this time the 3 BJP MLAs, they went to the commissioner and they demanded for 8 days. And 8 days was 1 day ban, 2nd day you can slaughter, 3rd day you can't slaughter, 4th day you can slaughter, 5th day you cannot slaughter. I mean, this was absolutely ridiculous. I think the BJP has unnecessarily started the whole thing, and there's no election now. The municipal corporations are over and then Mumbai is still far away.
Why
There's
are you
1.5 years
opposing this ban?
more.
Manisha,
No, we
why
are not,
are you
because
opposing this
we
ban?
have to take,
You
we
have
have to
virtually-
take
you-
the
one minute,
community.
1 minute. You have virtually
Yeah.
threatened the Jains today. You have said, your party has said, the Samna editorial has said that the Jains should not go down the way of the Muslims. In other words, you're
Well,
accusing
the
them
Jains-
of
the Jains
minority
builders-
politics. Isn't that a communal
Well,
statement? That has
no,
nothing to do with
see,
the issue at hand.
Let me answer you. The Jains at large, they don't want meat-eating people in the building. They
Yes.
don't want to sell flats to meat-eating people. So, I mean, this is all wrong. How can you just not allow anybody to not to stay here, not to eat this, not to eat that? It's wrong. So,
Okay.
I think the Jain community, and even they are being misrepresented. Somebody is misusing them. Even that they should understand.
Let me get Sudhanshu Trivedi and
So that
Sanjay
is what our
Nirupam
point
in.
is.
Then I want to go back to Justice Katju and then we'll open it up. Sudhanshu Trivedi, why is this a battle worth picking for the BJP? First the beef ban, now this. You heard Justice Katju. You have been using his judgment to defend your decision. The judge has very candidly said he's not sure. He's convinced by his own verdict, one. And two, he thinks there's a lot of difference between 8 and 2 days.
One thing very clear which is emerging out of your discussion,
Yes.
as this is the government has not done anything new. It is in vogue since decade and which has been duly stamped by the previous government. Now the only question arises, is this length of 8 days or 7 days? Yes, of course, if some proposal was moved by some BJP corporators and others
Yes.
in Mira-Bhayander Municipal Corporation,
Yes.
BJP is having just 30 seats. And Shiv Sena, NCP, Congress together is having 70 seats. Why did they do not bring their proposal and turn it down? Where is the problem? The same case in BMC. You are not doing anything on the floor of the House and making something hue and cry. Suddenly after 50 years, 1964, the thing is in vogue. So it shows that there is a more an element of politics in it than the element of reality. And second thing I would like to say.
You're not answering my question.
Any minority.
You're not answering my question.
What?
You have, all of you
What
have,
question?
the BJP has been using the Supreme Court judgment to justify its decision. The Supreme Court judge who gave the decision is saying, I'm not even convinced that that was the right judgment, and 8 days and 2 days is not the same. आप कह रहे हैं कि बहुत दिन से चल रहा है, लेकिन बहुत सालों से जो चल रहा है वो 2 दिन के लिए चल रहा है.
Barkha, the constitutional binding, legal binding and the moral binding of a judgment is when the judge states by sitting on the chair of the Supreme Court of Judge or whatever he is saying on the front of the media. Even if you consider, the politicians say we have committed a mistake. If Kejriwal say it was my mistake in resigning, but it is done. So the entire system will follow whatever is there in black and white, and the entire constitutional authority with this. And even if morally you think that it is wrong,
Yes.
then I would like to quote one thing. Even if a community is in a very minimal scale, does their feeling should not be understood? Like Hindus do not eat meat during the Navaratras, but they are in so huge number that automatically the sale of meat goes down during the Navaratras.
But there's a lot
They
of
do
difference.
not have to bring a legislation.
There is a lot of difference,
Let
Sudhanshu,
me
with
complete
due
the
respect.
sentence.
There is a lot of difference in the sale of meat naturally going down and the state being on my plate.
Let me come.
Why
That's
should the
what I
state
am
be
saying,
on my
Barkha,
plate?
that if you are feeling uncomfortable during the puja, you because of your sheer majority by default gets the favorable
That's different.
situation,
That's
and a
the force of
community which
market.
is not having
That's the logic of market. That's the logic of the market. Okay, but Justice Katju, quick response there, and I
So
need to open
then
it
why
up.
then why the issue of minority comes?
Justice
Then
Katju.
why the issue of the market?
Justice
If
Katju.
there are 2% community, then why there should be a gazetted holiday which is costing thousands of crore rupees to the country
Ji.
for a community which is 2%? So
Okay.
do not try to go by this logic of market and the religious
Let me get
feeling
the judge to
simultaneously.
respond briefly, and then I want to come to Sanjay Nirupam, and then everybody else comes in. Justice Katju, Sudhanshu Trivedi says, too bad if you're having second thoughts now. It's now the law. It's your judgment, it's now the law. Too late to have second thoughts.
I did not say that my judgment was necessarily wrong. I said that it may have been wrong. Or it may also have been right.
Okay.
Because please consider
Yes.
the facts in the case of Hinsa Virodhak Sangh case.
Yes.
There the ban of 9 days had been continuing for decades in Ahmedabad.
Yes.
Here the ban is being raised from 2 days to 9 days suddenly. Now the Supreme Court in the case of State of Madras versus V.G. Rao,
Yes.
very leading case, said that in judging whether a restriction is reasonable or not, it is very important to find out whether it is excessive.
Yes.
Now 2 days may not be excessive, but 9 days may be regarded excessive. Or if the ban has been continuing for several decades, then also if the ban is for 3 months or 6 months, it may be excessive.
Okay.
So it was both these facts cumulatively, that it was a ban continuing in Ahmedabad for several decades and that it was only for a short period of 9 days. These were the reasons cumulatively why I sustained that ban.
Okay.
But if either of these two is missing, as in the case of Mira-Bhayander, then the position is different, because precedents are not to be applied mechanically as if they are Euclid's formula.
Yeah. Let me get
Even
Sanjay
one
Nirupam
small
in.
distinction in facts.
Sanjay Nirupam, the Congress will be told, you also did this in 2004. Is it the principle you're opposing, or is it the duration? See, what it looks like to all of us is, whether it's you, whether it's Shiv Sena, whether it's MNS, whether it's BJP, all of you are just playing your own politics. For you, for you 2 days was okay. For BJP, 8 days is okay. How does that make it different? You could have taken this off the books if you didn't agree with it as a law.
See, the Bharatiya Janata Party is quoting that order which was issued in 2004, and
Yes.
I think you are referring to the same
Yes.
order. That order was practically optional order.
How is it optional?
Optional order because the state government is not supposed to implement this kind of order. It is the municipalities which are going to enforce it.
Okay.
But the fundamental point is, we never debated any issue kind of meat ban. We are debating it today.
But
And
the
the
BJP
order
will
was-
argue that that's because
that order was-
the media is kinder to you
No,
than it is to the,
order
BJP.
was, no,
That
I'll
is what the
explain
BJP
it.
will
I'll
allege.
try to explain it.
Yes.
The order was optional and it was never enforced till today. It is
But
enforced.
the order existed. If
Yeah,
you wanted
order
to take a
existed.
principal position,
What
you
was
should have taken it.
What was implemented, what was enforced is the closure of slaughterhouses, and we are not against that.
How do you
We
see?
still-
How do you see the disagreement between the two allies, between Manisha and Sudhanshu on this program?
That's basically competitive politics
Between the allies.
between the allies.
In what
BJP
way?
is trying to appease the Jain voters, and Shiv Sena is trying to appease the Marathi-speaking voters. Similarly, even MNS has jumped into the whole
Fray.
battle,
Yeah.
fray, and even MNS is trying to compete with Shiv Sena as far as non-vegetarian.
So are you saying are you saying
Marathi-speaking
they're both
voters
are you saying they're both playing to an pre-agreed script? They're just chasing different voters. Is that what you're accusing them of?
Of course.
Okay,
of
Manisha,
course, of
Manisha,
course.
Manisha.
Can I add one more
Well,
thing?
I
Yeah.
would like to
Can I
tell,
add,
would
Manisha,
like
1
to
minute,
say,
can I add one more thing?
To tell
Yeah.
Sanjay Nirupam ji,
Can I
Sanjay
add-
Nirupam ji.
Can I add one more thing? Can I I'm just
Barkha,
adding one
can
more
I
thing?
speak?
Yeah.
Manisha, 1 minute, 1 minute, just 1 minute, 1 minute, please. Basically, closing down slaughterhouse is okay, but if you are issuing an order to ban the trading of meat or eating of meat,
That
it
is
is not
different.
acceptable.
Okay,
That is why we are
Manisha,
protesting.
quick response, and then all the
Okay, so
non-politicians
if you
have to come
want
in.
the
Yeah.
slaughterhouse to be closed
Yes.
for 4 days, then do you want people to eat stale meat? And the fish is allowed, so fish are not living, so you remove them out of the water and they are dead, so that is not a crime.
Yes, yes, that's a
So
good
I think,
point.
see, I think the Jain community is also needs to understand that they are being misrepresented and they are being misused, and they themselves should not be fanatical. And I mean, see, if I am fasting today, I can't ask Barkha, okay, you also fast with me.
No, I agree.
And if you,
I agree,
even if
but
my,
I also think,
even if the
Manisha,
tastiest dish
I also
is
think,
brought in
Manisha,
front of
I
me,
also think,
my
Manisha,
mouth should not water.
Manisha, I don't agree with this ban for the record, but I also don't agree with the Shiv Sena saying that the Jains be warned, the Muslims we can ask to go to Pakistan, where will the Jains go? And this is what your editorial has said
Because
today,
the
and it
Jains-
is just rank
Yes.
communalism to talk like this,
No,
because
no.
in
See,
one
see,
sentence you have attacked two minorities.
Every community needs to understand that we are living in Hindustan, we are living in a free country, and everybody will be tolerated. But they should not cross their limits. Any community should not
What does it mean
cross their
everybody
limits.
will be tolerated?
The Jains,
They're as Indian as
don't
we
want
are.
Maharashtrians.
We're all
the Jains
members of the
don't
same
want.
country. What do you mean
the
they will be
Jains
tolerated?
don't want Maharashtrians. The Jains don't want meat-eating people in the building. How do you justify that?
Okay, I want the politicians to now hear the people. You know, the judge has spoken, the politicians have spoken. First, from the Jain community, we have Madhurika Jain and Dhanpal Jain, and not all Jains think the same way about this. Madhurika, let me start with you. On Facebook today, you said Jainism also teaches us not to impose our opinion on other people. What do you think of this ban that's being done in your name virtually?
I don't think this is Jainism, you know, I'm no scholar of Jainism, but I was born to a Jain family. I've been raised a Jain. So that's, you know, I have the inside out knowledge of Jainism, and, you know, how are we taught to practice Jainism? It's ahimsa, don't kill, don't trouble others with life or not without life. And the other thing is tyag, you know, penance, which a part of which is this fasting and your relationship with your own soul. Now this tyag bit is, Barkha, it's such a personal journey. You know, even my parents can't enforce tyag on me.
Yeah.
And so when I read in the newspapers that members of my community have gone and appealed to the government, and the government on behalf of my community is happily enforcing a lifestyle change, even if it is for 1 hour, in this case it's for 4 days, on every community. My first response is, dude, this isn't the Jainism I was raised on. This isn't Jainism. This is something else. The other thing is that, you know, why are Jains looked at as tolerant? Because ahimsa is inherently tolerant. A part of Jainism's ahimsa is what is called anekantvad, pluralism. My truth is true and your truth is also true.
Yeah.
You know, what is this new age Jainism that, you know, this is what I think and you have to live like me because I'm fasting, you can't, you know, you have to eat whatever I say.
Yeah.
This
but,
isn't Jainism.
You know, but you know, many people may not think like you. After all, this demand did come from within a section of your community. Dhanpal, why is this important?
No, I'm sorry, Barkha, I would say that more people think like me. It is only that we are quiet. there are a few who have different agendas within the community, who want to usurp the community, who are asking for these ridiculous things like ban.
Okay,
and
let
telling other
Dhanpal
people
Jain
how
come
to
in.
live their
Dhanpal, go
lives.
ahead. Dhanpal, go ahead. You've heard somebody from your... Anubhav, just coming to you after that, right after that. Dhanpal Jain, go ahead.
I am shocked. I am shocked that NDTV and Barkha Dutt has choose to take such a non-issue. The Jain minority issue was hanging for last 20 years. You all never took up. Jain women have the worst representation in parliament and in government employment according to Census 2001, according to the Satchar report and according to the
but today
Rangnath
we're here
Mishra
to
report.
discuss something
This
else.
is a non-issue. I'm coming to the point. We are a multi-religious country, and I will talk this issue within the realms of the Constitution of India, which Dr. Baba Sahib Ambedkar read. And he makes it very clear within Article 48 that we should have scientific temper and we should have compassion. Fundamental duty of every citizen
that
is
add
to
up?
have
How does that
compassion
connect to what
for
we're
all
discussing?
religion. Let me complete. I am quoting the Constitution of India.
Yes.
You and me are not above the Constitution of
Of course
India,
not.
and
Nobody
neither
is.
any fundamentalist party.
Okay.
Like when the Friday prayers takes place every week on the streets, public land, I have a right to easement. I am being tolerant. During Diwali, I also celebrate Diwali, but crackers go on loud. I have a right to clean air. So, you know, my also sensitivities are hurt. I'm saying we are not telling you not to eat meat. We are followers of ahimsa and compassion. We are saying that slaughtering, ruthlessly cutting down animals is to be prohibited. This Akbar did it, and I'm quoting Mrs. Indira Gandhi at the Stockholm Conference in the United Nations 1972. She says Emperor Akbar did prohibit slaughtering and hunting of animals for
Justice
food
Katju also
and
quoted
entertainment.
Akbar, but you know, we are not in the, we moved on, countries move on,
Of
societies
course,
move on.
that is what
We
it
evolve,
is, the
we all
worst
live in diverse
regressive
societies.
attitude
See,
to
I'll tell you
kill,
my
take
problem.
a life
I'll tell you
according
my
to
problem. I'll tell you,
it is a
Dhanpal, let me
violation of
explain my
ahimsa.
problem. Dhanpal.
Let me
Dhanpal,
also quote
Dhanpal,
Mahatma
let me-
Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi, one last point. Mahatma Gandhi said the culture of a community and a country is known by the respect it gives to its animals. Go ahead.
See, this is not a debate about vegetarianism. It's not a debate about cruelty to
It
animals.
has been made out to be.
It is a debate about whether the state can interfere with what I eat. That is what it's the debate. It
We
is
are
a
not
debate.
saying that.
One minute, now
You
let me
you
speak.
can eat
Now let
beef,
me
as you
speak.
have
You've
said it on
spoken. You've
television so
spoken.
many times.
You have
can eat
spoken.
beef,
You
you
have
can eat
Dhanpal.
pork.
Let me ask.
I'm saying ruthless cutting down of animals.
That's a
slaughtering
different
animals
debate.
For 4 days.
That is a
also
different
shows
You're not
debate.
agreeing to
That
common
is a different
sensibility.
debate. That is a different
That's the
debate.
debate.
You're not agreeing to
Anuva Pal
No, that is not a different
and Manish Mehrotra. Let me get both of you in, and then I will go back to the rest of the panel. Anuva, you know, this would be funny if it weren't actually true. You have politicians on the streets holding chickens. You have parties talking about हम meat खिला के ही रहेंगे. I mean, what is going on here? Anuva.
There are people distributing meat. It's getting very hard for comedians to do their work if all the politicians will do it for us. And we'll be out of work. We won't get any auditoriums left. Also, you know, I mean, the larger point you raise, I absolutely agree that we're a plural society. Everyone should be respected. I respect what the values of Jains are. But, you know, if the logic of the argument is this, if a small group can push through 9 days of something, then tomorrow haters of capsicum can push through 6 days of no capsicum.
It is not 9 days. 4 days.
I'm just saying we can
Where
argue
is
about the
it going to
pedantics
end?
of how many days,
Yeah.
but the moment you open that door, I am Bengali, I'm offended by vegetables. So I could demand 3 days of meat for everybody, right? If I have a strong enough lobby within a political party, can I pass that through? No.
Yeah.
So I think that's the question.
Yeah.
Then we can argue pedantics, 7 days, 9 days, 13 days, good judgment, bad judgment.
Yeah.
But really to the general public, what does it look like? Politicians are holding up chickens, roads, education, healthcare. Instead of that, there are people distributing goat meat.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely absurd, and we'll come back to the politicians in just a moment. Manish, it's getting hard to be a chef, at least if you're from Mumbai, so thankfully you're in Delhi, and I shouldn't speak too soon because who knows what will happen here also, but so far we've been okay. Manish, what do you think? As somebody who deals with the craft of cooking, what do you make of this entire debate?
It's something like that you are asking a painter for 10 days you don't paint with red color. So that is not correct. And as a chef, any type of ban which is hampering, it's like creating cruelty towards animal. It's wrong. But the thing is, any ban is bad, I would say. If somebody bans shark fin, I would say yes, we should ban shark fin.
Yeah.
But the thing is, banning just for the heck of it, that is wrong, I would say.
Okay, I want to just get a quick response from Madhurika to Dhanpal, and then we'll take it back to the politicians. Madhurika, you heard a very impassioned response from somebody who's also from your community.
Well, I can't see anybody, but Barkha, one thing happened a few weeks ago, which was over the Santhara.
Yes.
Now, this is something that I'm sensitive to. It's happened in my own family. My grandma took Santhara 5 minutes before she passed. And, you know, when I heard it being compared to euthanasia and for the High Court to pass a judgment and say that it's illegal, I was completely appalled. And I said, look, this is my civil liberty. Why you speaking up about something that you have no idea about? And what's ironic, and Jains were up in arms, right, over that? And the Supreme Court thankfully overturned that. So the irony is that the same community which got relief and got its, personal liberty restored by the court of law and by the government has now gone and appealed to the government to overturn other people's civil liberties and other people's right to live, the way they want to.
Let me take this back to the politicians. Yeah, very
this
interesting.
hypocrisy.
Yeah. I want to get Manisha, Sanjay and Sudhanshu in, and then we'll go back to Justice Katju. Manisha, I ask you again.
Yeah.
The BJP may be playing one set of vote bank politics, maybe you're playing another according to Sanjay Nirupam, but why does your editorial threaten the Jains today to not go down the same road as Muslims? I ask you again, what does this mean?
Barkha, I answered you twice before. My answer would be the same. If a particular community, say for example the Jains,
Yes.
they are also into building construction, many of them are builders,
Yes.
and they straight away on the face, they say that Maharashtrians not allowed, meat-eating people not allowed. It may be any language speaking, not only Maharashtrians, but those who are eating meat, they should not be buying flats over here.
Yeah.
So what type of terrorism is this? Isn't it wrong? Isn't it fanatism?
Is it terrorism?
Yes, of course, it's a type of terrorism. You terrify people. So, is it not wrong? And therefore, of course, if such a tendency has to be curbed, and who will do it? Of course, the Shiv Sena will do it. And let me tell you, there is no election right now. There is no election. Even the Jains are our voters. Jains also vote for BJP. Jains also vote for Congress. So right now, the question of consolidation of votes doesn't arise.
Okay.
We are in Dadar West, there are a huge number of Jains who have voted for us. There is a MLA from Dadar who is ours.
So you are challenging Sanjay Nirupam's theory, but Sudhanshu Trivedi, do you agree?
No,
do
I'm
you
not
agree
challenging.
with the Samna editorial that the Jains must watch out? They're going down this is your ally. You people are running a government together in Maharashtra. Sudhanshu?
I am a little bit amused by the logic of Manisha ji, that she is using the word terrorism for the Jain community, which is known for the height of extreme non-violent way of living, not only in India, I think in the entire world.
Oh,
The
to put a
question is not the
restraint on
religious
somebody,
sentiment or
to
other
put
thing.
a restraint on somebody, Jainism
Let me
teaches
complete the
self-restraint, not restraining others.
No, we are not here to discuss the various religious teachings of one religion or the other. The basic fundamental question is whether
Okay, but
the
you don't allow
constitutional
a
right
person
of
to stay,
anybody
okay,
is protected or
meat-eating
not.
people will not stay in this
Everybody's
building.
constitutional
What
right
do
is
you say?
protected.
Isn't
When
it
you were
fanatism?
speaking, I was not
Isn't it
interfering, Manisha ji.
fanatism?
Let me complete the
Okay,
sentence.
Go on.
I just want to put a point that if the fundamental rights of everybody is protected or not. I would like to give you an example. In the certain Muslim-dominated districts of Malabar in Kerala, by the government order, during the month of Ramadan, the midday meal was totally taken out from the schools. So for 1 month, you are forcing those, even if there are 10 students, to have not only fasting, midday meal is for those children who do
why
not
didn't
have
you
proper
protest?
meal at their home. So there was a protest, there was a letter written to the ministry, it was widely
Sudhanshu
covered in the
ji,
Malayali media,
so
like
the way
in
you
Janbhoomi.
protested
Let me
today-
complete the
Today,
sentence, Barkha, but was never picked up.
Nahin, nahin.
Now the selectively picking up of the
But
municipal
aren't there two
corporation
sides of the
issue
same
and
coin?
making it a national
Sudhanshu
issue.
Trivedi, but aren't there
I
two-
asked you,
Sudhanshu Trivedi, isn't it two sides
No,
of
no,
the same?
I asked you, Barkha, do you
I'm
condemn
responding
this
to
or
you.
not?
I'm
And my
respon-
friend from Congress party, Mr.
Sudhanshu-
Sanjay Nirupam, whose party was ruling there in Kerala, he should say in unequivocal terms
Sudhanshu, can I-
and tender an apology
Can I come in,
that his
Barkha?
government has done a wrong in Kerala.
Okay, this did happen in 2013. Sanjay, it did happen. Well, just half a second. It did happen. My question is, where does all this stop? Once आपने शुरू किया 2 दिन से, इन्होंने बनाया 8 दिन, केरला में हो गया that during
अरे 8 दिन के आपने तो 40 दिन कर दिया।
मैंने
My point is,
अच्छा आपने your party in
नहीं,
Kerala
आपने का मतलब for Congress.
हाँ, thank you. Sanjay Nirupam, please respond that the Congress has done this in Maharashtra. You have done this when you were in running a coalition in Kerala.
I'm not aware about the Kerala thing, but
But we are telling you it happened in
I
2013.
don't know. If I don't know, I cannot comment on that thing. But as far as Maharashtra issue is concerned,
Yes.
this new government,
Yes.
the BJP-led government, has started basically using different type of ban on different type of issues. Beef ban was earlier, then meat ban. And I remember one thing, Mr. Modi, when he was campaigning for his party, he said, "Na main khaunga na khane dunga." Mr. Modi doesn't eat beef, so he's not allowing anybody to eat beef. Mr. Modi doesn't eat meat, so that's why he's not allowing anybody to eat.
No, this
eat
is
meat.
a joke, I guess. This is a joke.
It may be
But
a
in a
joke.
lighter
my
vein-
request to BJP is not to indulge into this kind of
Sanjay
bad
ji, it
politics.
is
Sudhanshu ji, ना
rather
खाऊंगा
than
ना
खूब
खाने
खाऊंगा,
दूंगा is
खाता ही
acquired in
रहूंगा,
new
सबके
meaning.
हिस्से का
ना
खाता
खाऊंगा ना खाने
Now I'm
दूंगा.
coming to the serious note.
Yeah.
Can I come to the serious note now?
Yes,
Can I come to the
नहीं
serious
सबके हिस्से का खा जाऊंगा वो भी अच्छा नहीं है।
Acha, Sudhanshu, एक minute. Now I'm coming to the serious note. As far as Shiv Sena's protest is concerned,
Yes.
Shiv Sena is behaving like a hypocrite one.
You're
Shiv
also
Sena-
being hypocrite.
Yeah, no.
You're also hypocrite.
Let me complete, then you call me
Sanjay
hypocrite.
ji-
Okay.
Sanjay ji, you all did
Manisha, 1 minute.
2004.
Manisha, 1 minute. Shiv Sena
Sanjay ji, in
is...
2004,
Manisha, 1
you added
minute.
2 more
Let me
days.
complete.
Why
now.
did you do that?
Complete.
Why did you do that? Tell me.
Manisha, let me complete now, please. Please.
Okay.
Shiv Sena has been controlling municipality for last 22 years. They are in the power. Municipal commissioner issued an order banning meat, and Shiv Sena is not aware of that thing.
Yeah.
The moment they realize there is a huge public outrage against this statement, this ban.
Manisha, respond to that and then Justice Katju.
They change their stand.
Manisha,
That is
Sanjay
the point
ji,
I would like
please,
to make.
Please don't misguide the viewers.
I'm
Please
not
don't misguide the
misguiding, I'm just
viewers.
raising a fundamental point.
Before
You
the-
are
before-
controlling the
before
BMC
the-
and you are
before
not
the
able to
things were discussed
understand.
in the House.
You are not
Before-
aware of
before
the
the-
order issued by the commissioner.
Sanjay
That
ji,
means either you
no.
are incompetent or hypocrite
Not
or you
at
have
all.
changed your
No.
stand later.
These are all your qualities. These are all your qualities. And let me tell you, it was not discussed in the House. It came in the House the next day. The 3 MLAs from BJP went to the commissioner before the issue was discussed in the House. They went to request for 8 days. And next day there was
Manisha ji,
a
then you
motion
should
in the
have
House.
discussed in the House and get it reverted.
Of course we stopped it in the House. We didn't allow 8 days.
But
We
why
maintained
did
it to
you not
4
defeat
days.
it? Could you not have defeated it? Could you not have blocked it?
It was never
No.
It will
See,
never come to
there
the
has
House.
to be a proper discussion
No,
in
no,
the
no.
House.
On the
It can't be
contrary,
done
when you were on the
hastily.
list-
It can't be done hastily.
Acha, can I,
For 2 days by the government and 2
Yes,
days
he
by
has
the
Manisha, I
lies
would
facts.
like to remind you
He
one more
lies the
thing.
facts of politics.
Manisha, 1 minute. I would like to remind
Yeah.
you one more thing. When the whole issue
Yeah.
was being debated in Mira-Bhayander Nagar Palika, at that time
Yes.
your 4 corporators belonging to Shiv Sena were absent. What was the reason behind that? That means you wanted initially
the party
ban
will-
should be
the party
imposed.
will
but
definitely
one minute,
look into
one
that
minute,
matter,
1 minute, Manisha, 1
and
minute.
they will not be
1 minute,
spared.
Manisha, please 1 minute. That means
Okay.
you wanted initially the ban to be imposed, but the moment you
No,
saw,
it's wrong.
the moment you saw that there
Then
is
why
a
would
huge
Mr.
public
Pratap,
outrage,
why would
you
Mr.
oppose that.
Why would Mr.
That is an
Pratap
opportunistic
Sarnaik
stand
go there?
taken by
Why
Shiv Sena.
would Mr. Pratap Sarnaik go there? He is the MLA from the adjoining area. Why
Okay,
would he go
let's
there and
move on.
protest it?
Let's move on. Let's
He
move on.
wanted
There are
to
bigger
stop
issues at
something
stake
wrong
here
going
beyond
over
the
there.
local politics of the Mumbai municipal, city level politics. Let me get Justice Katju, then Anubhav, then Manish, and then Madhurika. I'll come to you. Justice Katju, you're seeing what's happening. All the parties are on the bandwagon, not on the bandwagon, but on the bandwagon. Have we become Banistan? Banistan Hamara is what we're calling this show.
See, I am not concerned with politics. I have 2 things to say on the legal, from the legal point of view.
Yes.
Firstly, the law of precedents is that a precedent is not to be applied mechanically.
Yes.
if there is even one important difference in facts,
Yes.
then that decision will not be applicable. Now, in the case of Hinsa Virodhak Sangh, which I decided,
Yes.
the 9-day ban during Paryushan had been prevailing for several decades.
Yes.
Whereas in the case of Mira-Bhayander, it has been introduced for the first time. Earlier there was only 2 days. So
Yes.
that is a very vital distinction on facts. And therefore my judgment may not be applicable in Mira-Bhayander. Secondly, as I said earlier, every fundamental right is subject to reasonable restrictions. And it is for the court to decide, not politicians, whether the restriction is reasonable or not. Now, in judging the reasonability of restriction, one important consideration is whether it is excessive. Supposing the newly introduced ban is for 9 days,
Yes.
I may regard it excessive. But if the ban had been 9-day ban had been continued for several decades, I may not regard it excessive. So it all depends on the facts.
Okay.
So therefore, I don't think my judgment
Can be
is
applied
applicable
here.
in the case of Mira-Bhayander.
Anuvab, you said that comedians are going to be out of a job because politicians are doing it for you. But look at the kinds of things we're hearing here. You know, there's a new interpretation to na khaunga, na khane dunga. They're all calling each other hypocrites. Possibly the truth is they're all playing by double standards. No one is really,
Right.
no one can really claim moral or intellectual superiority on this one, according to me. Go ahead, Anubhav.
Yeah, exactly. You know, the High Court made an observation which is, above sort of regional politics and community issues, right? Every community needs to be respected. That's basic for an adult. You should do it in a secular, plural country like ours. But the High Court made an observation that if your city is trying to be cosmopolitan, and if a city is truly global, like Mumbai aspires to be, if you have 4 days of no mushrooms, 9 days of no chicken, our Prime Minister is traveling extensively around the world,
Yeah.
and bless his heart, he's doing a fantastic job telling the world, look, we are a global power.
Yeah.
And this is the epicenter of that, right? The biggest city, people from all over the world live here. And then we're saying that, listen, these things are not going to be available,
Yeah.
because we're also going to break into regional politics. And one last point I have, isn't the real heart of cosmopolitan secular India, it's food. Just the idea that I can enjoy Jain food and I can go to Rajasthan and eat vegetarian food, I can go to Kerala and eat squid curry, and I can have fantastic Hyderabad biryani. Isn't that the ultimate freedom, that there is this fabulous diversity of food?
Yeah, I agree. And Manish, who better than to come in on that than you? Because I remember even when the beef ban happened, you opposed it. And it's not just because you're a chef. You're speaking as a citizen.
Yes. Absolutely. Like any kind of ban, what to eat, what not to eat, what to wear, what not to wear is wrong. And as a chef point of view, these type of things will only hurt Indian cuisine globally. And people will have bad impact on Indian cuisine, and making it more popular globally, it will hamper that.
Yeah. Let me go back to to Madhurika and Dhanpal, both Jains. Both have very different opinions. Dhanpal, I'll take it to you. You've heard the many voices. What would you say to Madhurika? Okay, you think we have ignored the issue of Jains. Someone who's from your own community, what would you say to her?
No, I also agree with her. We are simply saying we are against cruelty of animals for 4 days, respect our religious sentiment. We are also an ancient minority of India, according to Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. We are a religion of Indian soil. Buddhism and Jainism are both a Shramana tradition of India, which rejects caste system, gender bias,
Why is
Yagya
this
Havan,
ban
and
important?
all those
Why
kind
is
of
this
stuff.
ban so important to you?
It is just that my religious sensitivities are to be respected. We are in a tolerant,
So
we are in a
tomorrow,
secular
if you had a
country.
Muslim neighbor,
It's 4 days,
Dhanpal, if
Barkha.
tomorrow you had a Muslim neighbor who asked you to keep Rosa and Ramzan,
Oh, I've said it in a Roman Catholic school.
Out of respect for him, would you do it?
Come again with
If
the
you
question.
had a Muslim neighbor, if a Muslim lived in your neighborhood,
I've said it in Jamia Millia Islamia also. Yeah, tell me again.
I'm asking you a different question. If he was
Yeah.
keeping Rosa and उन्होंने आपसे बोला, you also keep out of respect for me, would you do it?
Of course. What is wrong in that? I would keep. I go to Hindu temples. I go to Siddhivinayak.
We are all multicultural.
So what is the big deal in that?
But
I
you know,
would
if
keep
it was a
Rosa.
pact between
I will
two
play
people,
Navratri.
If it's a pact between two people, it's different. But if the state tells you, like Sudhanshu quoted Kerala, I don't agree with that either. If Kerala
This is
did it,
within
it's
the
wrong. If
realm of the
Maharashtra does it, it's
Constitution
wrong.
of India, Barkha. This is within the realms of the Constitution of India, Article 48. And even Markande Kajuji is here. His judgment is quoting that. So it is nothing wrong. We are a pluralistic society. We are a multi-religious society. You
Madhurika,
have to
come in on that.
respect the religious
Madhurika, come in on
sentiment.
that, and the politicians get the last comments. Madhurika, come in on that.
Well, you know, I mean, we've heard everyone, right? And with the politician, with all due respect, you know, sirs and ma'ams, you're just attacking one another. We're not talking about the issue. And frankly, I don't care what's happened in the past. Can we start from now? Can we start from right this moment in the history of India? We're a modern country. We're a modern country with ancient traditions and lots of diversity. Can everyone actually follow the constitution? May we please be secular? Can I be a Jain and not expect you to live by my lifestyle? And can Muslims live the way they want and I mean, just because wrong has been done in the past and the Congress did something in Kerala and the BJP did something somewhere, I don't care. Can we talk about right now?
Yeah,
it's so
point.
boring to be involved in this kind of, it's infantile.
It's a good point. Let's look ahead. So, Manisha, Sanjay and Sudhanshu.
I agree with that.
I think that's the question we have to ask you. Manisha, the case is now in the bomb.
sense.
Manisha, let me ask you. How far will the Shiv Sena take its opposition to this ban? How far will you take it?
Well, of course.
No, let Manisha answer, please. Let
Listen,
Manisha answer.
Yeah. See, I think Madhurika has said it very rightly. Let us make a fresh beginning. Today, Honorable Uddhav ji and the BJP chief of Ashish Shelar was there on a common public program, and Ashish has taken back his words. The party is thinking on it, and definitely, I think there should be some consensus on this issue, and I think we can make a fresh beginning. Let us review the whole thing once again, and let us set the things right.
No, but Manisha, you didn't answer my question. How far will you take your opposition? I haven't understood. You know, there are leaders who have said we'll walk out of this alliance.
Now the
Mira-Bhayander,
Mira-Bhayander Municipal Corporation has taken it back. So now they have restored it back to 2.
No, 1 minute.
Yeah, they have restored it to 2 days.
But
that's what I.
But the mayor, but as far as I know, the ban is still intact. Has that changed?
It is brought back to 2 days as it was, not 10 days and 8 days.
But
we were objecting to the 8 days and 10 days,
but Sudhanshu
not for 2 days.
But
the Shiv Sena never opposed it for 2 days.
But the mayor is still standing
as a mark of respect to Jainism, as a mark of respect to the Jain community.
That's what
the
we
2
want.
days we were okay with it.
No. But the mayor has left it, has gone and complained to the state government. Sudhanshu Trivedi, is there a rollback in this decision? Is there a rollback? Sudhanshu, is there a rollback, Sudhanshu?
I have already said that we have not done anything.
No, is there a
Which
rollback in
is
the
invoked since 50
decision?
years. If somebody wants to have a
Mira-Bhayander
rollback,
has
bring the
said now it will
proposal.
roll back on 2 days.
Have a
Hasn't the mayor
proposal,
complained?
get it voted.
Then
Then why you are saying that we have not done anything, but still we have not rolled it? Why you are asking us to roll back?
No. Have you gone back to 2 days, which is what it was in the Congress time? Now, Manisha, you're saying that that's what it's gone back to, but hasn't the mayor asked the state government to intervene?
Well, the thing what I have got that is that the Mira-Bhayander Municipal Corporation has taken back the 8 days.
The municipal commissioner has said 2 days, that's right. But the mayor has said that he can't decide and the state government has to decide. So how is the matter settled?
See, as far as the Shiv Sena is concerned,
Barkha?
we don't want it for 8 days or 10 days.
Yeah.
We always said that, okay, as a mark
So
of
2
respect,
days is
2
okay.
days was okay.
So 2 days is okay. Okay, Anubhav, yeah.
I just have one quick question here. You know, I mean, I don't understand the logistics of 2 days or 8 days, but you know, if there's a poor chicken, that poor chicken is going to die, whether it's 2 days or 8 days. So giving him extra 6 days is as much false hope, I think.
Cruelty of his animals must also stop.
Okay, Sanjay Nirupam, this confusion, is it going to be 2 days? Is it going to be 8 days? The municipal commissioner says it's going to be 2 days, but the mayor says the state government has to decide. Sudhanshu is not committing. Is it 2 days? Is it 8 days? We don't know.
There is an order being issued by the state government,
Yes.
and it is in the place since 2004. And I think the new government and the corporation must follow that order. And
Which
that
is
for
2
the 2
days.
days. And that is for the 2 days only closure of slaughterhouses. There is no ban
Exactly.
on
Yes,
meat
that's what we are
trading.
saying.
There is no ban on the sale of meat. Now, where the people are going to get meat, that's a different thing. Slaughterhouses can be closed.
So
and
all
should
of
be
you
closed.
are agreed on a 2-day
Slaughterhouse
shutdown of
ban.
slaughterhouses.
Yes.
Sudhanshu Trivedi, then why did we go through this whole 8-day confusion?
That was started by the BJP.
That was started
Who's
by the
agreed?
BJP,
Who's
says
agreed
Manisha.
on it,
Yeah.
Barkha?
The 8 days thing was brought by BJP.
Yes, so I am saying that, Sudhanshu, I ask you again.
Barkha,
Has the state
I'm sorry,
government
Barkha,
said-
BJP
If
and Congress
something
and Shiv
is-
Sena don't make
something
India.
our opponent think that it is wrong, why they have not voted it out in the house? And even if you think that it was not discussed, bring the proposal. Where is the problem? You are asking on the floor of media, but not ready to discuss on the floor of the house.
Manisha,
Of course, we
question
discussed
first
in
to
the
them.
house. How can we not discuss in the house? We are very much there in the house. Okay, 2-3
So,
corporators
you along
abstaining
with
on the day of
NCP and
voting
Congress are
doesn't
in
mean the entire.
overwhelming majority in the house.
the point is, Sudhanshu.
Sudhanshu ji,
Yeah, go
I
ahead,
think
Manisha.
you're getting the things wrong. See, the state government adding 2 days, the BMC adding 2 days. I think we can have a consensus, isn't it? And we are very much there in the house.
Then
We are
which
ready to
state
discuss
government
in
is
the
added
house.
2 days?
But
The
we will
NCP
not
Congress, we
allow
should ask the
anybody to
question to them,
impose
why
something
they have
on
added
us.
2 more
The
days?
Shiv Sena will not allow any type of force on any the original the Marathi speaking people or
There
the
are lot
meat
of
eating
Maharashtrian
people.
Jains also in
Yes, of course.
Karamveer Bhaurao Patel, V. Shantaram, Kallappa Awade, Raju Shetty, they are all Maharashtrian Jains. It is not only Gujarati Jains or Rajasthani Jains or Kannadika Jains or Tamil Jains or Punjabi Jains. Jainism is spread across communities. So do not make this a communal issue and try to whip up communal emotions in the country.
Dhanpal,
Thank
would you be okay with 2 days? Would you be okay with what?
Oh, it's fine. I mean, I'm saying religious sensitivities of the Jain community must be respected. And more than this, we do not have a member in the National Commission for Minorities. God forbid you please take it up with them. Thank you.
Madhulika. Madhulika, you
Well,
want
I would
I
like
think
to
this
put an
this
interesting
entire
fact.
conversation.
Yeah, Madhulika, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, this, Barkha, call me naive, but why is the state chiming in on whether it's even for 30 seconds on what anyone should eat or wear or the way they should walk? It's, the Constitution has made us a free country. It's a secular country. Are we forgetting that? I don't care if BJP and Shiv Sena and every party falls into agreement on 2 days or 2 hours. That is so not the point here. The point is that why are we as citizens letting our governments get so powerful that they can tell us how we have to live?
Yeah. Justice Katju, do you want to answer that?
Okay, Madhurika,
Yeah.
I would like to ask something to
Okay,
Madhurika.
1 minute, Justice Katju.
Madhurika.
Manisha has a question for Madhurika. Yes, Manisha.
Okay, Madhurika,
Ji.
would you tell the entire Jain community that not go and make representations? Even they are elected representatives belonging to their community. So it will resolve the whole issue.
Absolutely, ma'am.
Would you do that?
Absolutely. It is, I'm absolutely, ma'am. I mean, a part of my coming on this forum is exactly that, to say, look, I strongly believe that majority Jains think like me, because asking others to change their life is not what Jainism is about. We're an incredibly tolerant community,
And Manisha, I hope you will
incredibly
show the same-
tolerant.
I hope the Sena
so
will
the
show the
people
same
who are
appreciate that.
asking,
I hope the
appreciate.
Sena will
Thank
show
you,
the same
Madhurika.
tolerance for all communities as well. Justice Katju, last word to you. Got to
Of course
end.
we have
Justice
been
Katju.
tolerant.
Justice Katju, yes.
See, Madhurika said that even a 30-second ban would be bad.
Yes.
Now, this is taking secularism to extremes. I can tell you, in Rishikesh, for decades, you cannot sell meat or fish or eggs in the whole of town of Rishikesh. In Hajj subsidy is given to subsidize Hajj visits by Muslims to Makkah. Then to Mansarovar, Hindus are getting, you cannot take secularism to extreme. Don't make it a laughing stock that 30-second ban would be illegal. Take a balanced
make a
view.
Why then is it in our
Two-day
constitution?
ban is okay. I think 2-day ban is okay, but 9-day ban, if introduced for the first time, is bad.
Okay,
That
I have
is
to
my
leave it
opinion.
there. I am none the wiser, but I'll tell you something. it's a lot freer right now to eat your food in Delhi than it is in Mumbai. So this is one more dimension to those Delhi-Bombay wars. Thank you so much, all of you. This is going to be a space to watch. We thank you tonight for a very lively conversation. It does prove that you can disagree politely and have fun while you're at it. We're taking a break, and the two people who are not being polite about each other are Prime Minister Modi and Sonia Gandhi. That's coming up on the other side.
It has become painfully clear that most of the pledges made by the Prime Minister during his election campaign were nothing more than Hawabazi.
काले धन के खिलाफ जो कठोर कानून बनाया है, उसके कारण जो हवालाबाज है वो परेशान है। हवालाबाज लोगों को पैरों के नीचे धरती खिसकती नजर आ रही है।
What about their cases? Right, the Madhya Pradesh case, the foreign minister case, right?
But he's talked about
The chief minister of Rajasthan case. Did he have a word to say about those cases?
मैं तो कहता हूं कि ये हवाबाजी, हवालाबाजी, ये सब चीजें जुमलेबाजी हैं। खामोश।